What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review kind of the pseudo debut project by Rihanna. Basically, this project is called This Is Rihanna, the mixtape, and it came out somewhere in like the spring or summer of 2005. So I want to say that this particular project was the precursor to Rihanna's hit album from 2005, Music of the Sun, which came out in mid-late summer of 2005. But this particular project was definitely like this particular mixtape has about 5 songs from that particular album, Music of the Sun. So it's basically like the care package to that particular album. It's like a good 1-2 punch to get some Rihanna around 2005. But the thing about it is, from the information I've looked up on this particular project, it's kind of little known about. It just does not have that much commonplace information about it. It's kind of like a rare treat of an item, kind of a hot topic and overall trendy. I looked it up, tried to download it, pitches like that. It wasn't on DatPiff, it wasn't on the Internet Archive, wasn't around mixtape formats like certified mixtapes on those type places. But I look after, it wasn't on some of like the mixtape websites, places like that. But I had to say, I noticed on like Discogs it said that originally back in like 2021 was the last time it was for sale. So apparently you can purchase it, I would assume that was kind of something that was marketed. There are like the occasional Gangsta Grills projects that are for retail, like Bun B's The Legends project, which is not really for download because they had so many this had some hits on there that I think the quality of it beefing it up to be a retail product. But I kind of assume in like some cases, I don't know if it was on DatPiff back in the day, but I look after it, it seems more like a retail mixtape, I would have to say, which actually goes for like a hot ticket of an item considering Rihanna's just astronomical kind of popularity as far as those pitches kind of happen. So regardless, it's a tough project to track down. I wasn't able to download it, so it is at least on YouTube, but it is. I would just have to look. Just understand it's a little bit trickier to kind of get a hold of. That's kind of the pitch behind it. So that's kind of the affair behind how that particularly kind of goes. So I look after it. It is a pretty excellent mixtape here. I mean, the thing about it is it's only 10 songs. There's 12 songs on here, but minus the intro and outro, it narrows it down to 10 songs. Out of those 10 songs, basically 5 of them are to be found on the Music of the Sun album. So those 5 songs would be Pawn to Replay, remix with Elephant Man, Let Me Go with Vibes Cartel, If It's Loving That You Want, which was the second single off of Music of the Sun, and then the one which was off of Memphis Bleek's album from early 2005, which was one of Rihanna's debut verses. So kind of the pitch behind it. I look after this pretty, like I was saying, pretty appealing mixtape here. It would get a higher score if some of these more songs were exclusive, but every single song that was an exclusive to this project I enjoyed and recommend. So it's a pretty excellent pitch to kind of see that. Basically, the other 5 songs are just pretty wicked and kick-ass. I would say just a good taste of some Rihanna type flair that just shows up, just shows what she was kind of up to around that particular time, and just has a lot of shine overall pizzazz about it that works. The thing about it is, on top of that, there might be another Rihanna project floating around from like 2004, 2005. Because I looked on Wikipedia, apparently Rihanna, before she got signed to Island Def Jam, as far as those pitches kind of happened, she gave a demo to L.A. Reid and Jay-Z on Def Jam back in early 2005 or so. So I don't know what that demo album particularly kind of was, but it did wow Jay-Z and them as far as those pitches kind of happened. Jay-Z and L.A. Reid enough to be able to get her signed and have her put out her album relatively quickly. So it's a pretty good pitch. I don't know where that demo project particularly kind of went. Maybe it'll surface one day. But this is pretty close. This might just be within a relative type pitch or something like that. Not really as full blown sure if This Is Rihanna was the demo from that particular pair, but it is at least another project to kind of get that does have some new stuff on here. This is not very commonly talked about whatsoever. It's just kind of something, and especially with it not being available for download in today's times, and in some cases not even available for purchase. I just would have to say it's kind of something that needs more exposure. Just being able to say we could get towards it, maybe get this back out here so more folks can consume it. But yeah, so seeing as I recommend all 5 of these songs, I'll just list them, so you know the songs we're talking about. So My Name Is Rihanna, Don't Even Try, Here We Go, Get Up, Stand Up, and Hurricane. So My Name Is Rihanna is a real nice bop here. It's like a summer frolic kind of pep of a song. I would definitely feel like it's like a great cover, like the Damian Marley Welcome to Jam Rock song. I would definitely feel like R&B flavored. It's definitely like an R&B flavored hit, I'd have to suppose. Rihanna brings pretty good R&B vibes to this particular song. It's just some beachside kind of fun to kind of get here. Just real near water pitches like that. Just enjoying like some Malibu rum, some of those type pitches, tropical drinks, some of that type fare. Just getting a tan, some of those type pitches. Just kick back and like the beachside type weather pitches like that. And that's the thing about Rihanna back in the day. Back in her early days, she was kind of seen as more, she was less kind of R&B pop mistress and kind of more of like a Jamaican she was more of like an upcoming kind of reggaeton artist as far as those pitches kind of have. But this is an excellent cover song here to kind of get. Just very little known that it seemed very little known that she particularly did this. Welcome to Jam Rock was a pretty huge song in like reggaeton type fare throughout 2005, 2006. I'd say a good concept of that. Rihanna nails that song. So a real nice one on here would be Hurricane. This is like a glazed and fatigued kind of reggaeton summer stretcher. I would definitely feel like basic bake up, basic bake up. By that I mean smoke up, some pitches like that, just kind of in the evening air, some of that type of flavor, just a hot, flashy kind of malaise, maybe a little bit of just like humid kind of days, and pitches like that, just more throaty kind of days as far as those pitches kind of happen. Just like some good work shift relief. There's a cat on this song named Rupee as far as that particular pitch kind of goes. So just a good overall. It's basically like a mixtape cut for like some reggaeton type fare. There weren't really a ton of reggaeton type mixtapes as far as that pitch kind of went. So it's like a good conduit for some of that type of stuff. Just kind of get with around that particular time. Mixtapes were kind of blowing up big time in 2005. So it's a good pitch to kind of get Rihanna. Just the fact that she did some of these. It's kind of an in between type one just to really smoke up and just appreciate like the evening sunlight. Don't Even Try is more traditional Rihanna from like 2007 forward. I'd say just more makeshift type flair. I'd say it's just a dreary kind of hot day evening relief. I would definitely feel like some basic kind of R&B malaise. I'd have to say in particular. This one's more R&B more so than reggaeton. It's some good makeshift kind of sun gazing and day commerce just to kind of get here. So this is a nice one just for like 4:30 p.m. as the day is starting to. Don't Even Try is like some good R&B type makeshift as the day is starting to simmer down, pitches like that just kind of more settle in for like the afternoons for us pitches like that kind of happen. This one's kind of a good combination with Hurricane, not as smoke prone. This one's a little bit more work friendly SFW. I'd say Don't Even Try, just look within the pitch behind it as far as that kind of goes. But I look after like the appeal. This has some good concepts overall. Both these are like some good summery type fare. Most of it sounds pretty summer oriented, but some of these other songs on here that I'm going to recommend are more turn up type bound. Here We Go and Get Up, Stand Up are more turn up type ones, but there is some decent kind. There is some solid. There's some good buzz type songs kind of get where like some makeshift is the appeal. Just got done with work class, some of that type fare. Just some good concepts kind of have for some of that. So that would be Don't Even Try, which is really like the most. This is probably the most pop centric type one out of all these songs on here. That's at least new Rihanna. That's not on her albums as far as that pitch kind of goes. That's a good exclusive kind of get here. Basic kind of pop R&B type bite. Here We Go is a pretty nice one that says Cardinal Official on here, which is a pretty good pitch. It's like an uncommon kind of mid 2000s mixtape club hitter. I would definitely feel like it's like a gnarled kind of drinks up buzz and dance noise. I would definitely feel like about this one. This is just a good one to percolate and kind of vibe to. In terms of night appeal, Here We Go would be like a good 1-2 punch with Pon de Replay. I'd have to say it may not be as full blown like casual and just overall vicious as that particular song. It's definitely a pretty excellent one to kind of get like some buzz noise. Just a typical kind of mixtape buzz song to kind of get that just really makes the percolate type energy really happen just within a modest kind of sense. It's a good type of appeal to kind of get. Just a real nice one. Just easy kind of trendy type one. Just a good hit for Rihanna just early on as far as those pitches kind of happen just to get some exclusives and just some good initial kind of noise as far as that particular kind of goes. The album cut for like mixtape fare. Then Get Up, Stand Up is a nice one. It's like an evening excitement, I would have to say. It's definitely like some flip mode kind of buzz from like makeshift slog, I would feel like. So this is the concept of switching to get ready to get crunk. So what I mean by that, just the concept of getting ready to get torn up after a long day of work and some pitches like that. Just the drear being in the whip and just getting ready to get turned up a little bit and switch to like different modes and just kind of be like, all right, it's time to get tore up, some of that type fare, have some good times, go out and socialize, some of that type fare. It's a good situate song to kind of figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to have some good times. Basic Kickstarter, I would definitely say good concept, kind of get things popping pretty quickly. I'd say it's just an overall dope song. Get Up, Stand Up brings back some of that reggaeton type summery type vibes. So it's another good pitch. Good combination with Hurricane, even though Hurricane's a little bit more slogged and just more dreary. I'd have to say more fatigued. I feel like this one in particular is a good, nice one. Another nice one to kind of smoke to within a sense. A little bit more energized, I'd have to say about this particular one. Not quite as energized as Here We Go, but I would definitely say it's a good concept. Kind of have some of this night type flair, just evening buzz kind of tunes. But obviously the gleaming highlight off this particular mixtape, if you haven't heard Music of the Sun, her first album would be Pon de Replay. But I just look at it. It's just a good concept to kind of get some of these buzz songs that kind of accompany this and prove that Rihanna can be pretty fiery with some of these club type songs when she wants. Good pitch. Just because from what I remember of Music of the Sun, it didn't have like a super ton of turn up type songs. So apart from Pon de Replay and maybe like a couple other ones, it was just more summer smokish type bound and beachside and just pitches like that, just with an aspect of more frolicking and basking in the sun. But so yeah, that's the concept about this particular mixtape. So in some fashion, the only real true song that I didn't have as much recommendation for out of the 10 songs on here would just be the one with Memphis Bleak. And it's not like a full bound kind of just snatching that particular song, but this is kind of the concept. I look after it, like it really felt like a Don Cannon kind of DJ Trauma type mixtape type soul, something that Lil Wayne or Jeezy would have done and sampled some of those East Coast type beats as far as that pitch kind of went. But I don't know, it just felt a little bit I don't want to say full blown hammy, but just not quite as effective as what probably needed to necessarily happen. I mean, it's kind of an in between type one, but I don't know, it just didn't really have as much sharpened kind of appeal as what I probably would have thought behind it. But it is a nice, it's one of the initial kind of Rihanna songs. Definitely good Memphis Bleak type pairing to kind of get here. He was pretty good rap around that particular time. But I look after it. So that's the concept about this particular project. So yeah, most of this album I do wind up recommending, despite the fact that a lot of these can be found on Rihanna's debut Music of the Sun. So what I'm going to give this particular mixtape, just between the here and there of it, me recommending all five of the exclusive songs to this particular product, plus the most of the songs that were on Music of the Sun, despite the fact that you can just get Music of the Sun. I'd say I'm going to give this mixtape like a 7 out of 10, just within the pitch behind another thing. There's a couple of reasons, just between the fact that this mixtape's not available for download, so you might just have to, I don't know if it's actually available for purchase. Rihanna doesn't as much commonly talk about this particular product. I just question how many folks full blown even realize about it. It's just not very commonly known. Like this particular YouTube video that I'm watching, this one has like less than 30 hits on it. So I just would have to say this is kind of the concept, and it's really that is kind of, I mean, for Rihanna, you would think that any video that she would have on YouTube of like exclusive songs by her would have like thousands, hundreds of thousands of hits, but this really doesn't even have 50, I'd say, or 30. So it's just kind of the pitch behind it. But I look after it. So I don't know if this product's supposed to be available for purchase, if you're actually supposed to go out and purchase this as Rihanna, or if it was available for free download at one point, or if it was available for free download at one point. It's not really, the information is just too scant to really know what the true details of it were. And you know, this came out over 19 years ago, so it's just kind of the pitch. But I look after it, so I would definitely scoop up this product whichever way you can, whether you're willing to pay like the 20 or 40 bucks for it if it does become available, or just the pitch behind like downloading it and getting it within that way. But it needs to be in circulation. Again, I would definitely say the social score, I'm going to go ahead and give like an 8 out of 10. I feel like the pitches behind this has a lot of good bops on here. I was surprised by some of this affability. Rihanna is a pretty good smoker, so she has some good songs. She appreciates that, like that summery kind of breeze, and this kind of after that summery kind of breeze, and just more Jamaican kind of kickback and like hot weather type formats, pitches like that. It's like a bonus kind of package to like Music of the Sun. I would definitely feel like this is some good buzz stuff to kind of get there. So yeah, all these songs really have some appeal, whether it's just the makeshift dredge or just got done with tasks and responsibilities, or just the concept of getting ready to have some turn up. I mean, I once again feel like the most vicious song, which can be found on Music of the Sun, is Pawn to Replay, but there's definitely some good buzz stuff songs kind of get on here just to kind of be ambient a little bit and kick back with some pals and bitches like that, or some chicas as far as that pitch kind of goes. So some good concepts. But in terms of future, like Rihanna's supposedly working on stuff. It's been a while since she's really put out any projects. We look after it's been since 2016, but I reviewed a number of these. I want to say I was actually looking up Rihanna on the Internet Archive, and apparently she did have other mixtapes. They're kind of unofficial. If they do have some exclusive songs, I might actually get to some of those. But for the most part, Discogs and Rate Your Music, some of those type places, don't really list too many other Rihanna mixtapes that were actually official, I'd have to say. So it's this kind of concept. I just would have to kind of take shots in the dark as far as which ones would actually have some songs that are just not, that are just kind of either with like the Hobson and Lil Wayne type format, where there are songs that they actually did, but they just didn't see an official release. I'm not really as full blown sure, but we'll have to find out about some of those. But yeah, this is a dope secret project here. Definitely needs more exposure, so fuck with it and just get it more circulated so it can be downloaded again, pitches like that, or purchase, I'd have to say.